Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the importance of Transgender Day of Visibility. So today is March 31st, which marks the Transgender Day of Visibility, which is fantastic that we have this day. I feel like in the last years I didn't really do anything about this. Last year I did post something on my Facebook though because it showed up on my time hop, and then I posted it again, so there you go. But on this day, I know that I'm posting this really late at night and kind of defeats the purpose, but we shouldn't just have one day. Okay, we have this day of visibility, and then we have the day of remembrance for everyone who's died. We have 2 days out of the year. And of course other causes, we're not a cause, but you know what I mean. They have months, and I'm not saying that we should have a month. I'm just saying that it should be something that's on people's minds all the time, and especially allies. Or people who call themselves allies, and maybe make people more allies. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that we need people to understand the importance of visibility, and the importance and the stigmas and stuff like that that come with that. Okay, so I feel like that didn't make sense, but whatever, let's just get into it. So, it's important to be visible for me. I am talking about myself and not any other trans people. I am out to everyone. I don't think there's one person that doesn't know, and if they don't know, it's because they don't need to know. They're not in my classes or whatever. But even, you know, my dad knows, my family knows, kind of, whatever. My roommates, all my friends, all of my grad friends that I'm really close with, they all know, and I'm comfortable with that, and it's great. I also put myself out there as an educator, so I make videos, and if people have questions, I tell them to go to my videos, especially special things like Trans Information 101 for family and friends and stuff like that, because it has all the information packed in a 12-minute video. So I feel like I'm okay with people outside asking me questions, as long as they understand, and I tell them this: do not ever ask any other trans person these questions because they're very inappropriate and rude. I'm just telling you that so you know, so that you don't do it again in the future, and they're like, okay, I'm so sorry, but then they understand. I wouldn't say that it's I'm proud to be trans. A part of me is, but a part of me is also I'm proud of the life that I've been able to accomplish since finding out that I'm trans and here, because I lived, and that's probably the main area. So now the topic's gotten kind of deep and depressing, and we have to, because Transgender Day of Visibility, we also have to take into consideration the people who cannot be visible. So there's a lot of people out there who choose to not be visible and choose to be stealth and live their life away from the trans community, or away from telling people that they're trans. Completely fine. People can do whatever they want with their lives. That's fine. You don't have to be visible. And then you have those people who are not visible because they're not able to come out. And one of the most important things that we need to understand on this day, even though it's visibility, I'm here, we exist, here's some information, here's how to be a good ally, we also really need to take into consideration the people who were visible and are now dead. I know that's really direct. I know it sounds really depressing, but it has to come out that way, because we're not gonna hide through oh, some people were murdered. No, people are dead because they were visible. Some chose to be visible, some did not choose to be visible, but they were visible, or people found out that they were trans. And that's something that, cool, we have this day of visibility, and we have this day of Transgender Day of Remembrance. I think it's in November, October, I should probably know that. And it's almost like these two are two different things that we don't, talk about together ever, but we do need to, because a lot of people are dead because they're trans, and more so this year than I have ever seen in my entire life of knowledge on people who are dying that are trans. It's actually ridiculous how many trans women of color have died this year. This year, as in today's what, March 31st? It's 3 months into the year and all these people are already dead. And it's not just at the hand of other people. There's a lot of trans people that are dead right now at the hand of themselves. Yeah, whatever, they killed themselves, that's what I'm trying to say. And that's super serious, and it's happening so much. If we just look at the media, kidding, don't look at the media because that's the worst source of information. Look at people's blogs who are actually in the communities who are getting this information firsthand. Not the media who's spinning it around, using people's birth names and making it seem like they were asking for it. Let's not even go near there. Recently, very recently, I think 4 days ago, I believe, I don't know where it is in the States, but it was the first trans homecoming king in, I think it was some state Indiana or something, or no, maybe not Indiana, I don't know. I'm so sorry, I feel like I should know that. But he killed himself, and it's just, Trans people are killing themselves because society isn't changing. If we just go back to Lila Alcorn and we talk about that situation, she killed herself back in December. In her suicide note, which she left on Tumblr, at the end of it, she said, "Fix society," and it's what we need to do. And this video started off as like something really nice, and look at me, I'm trans, I'm visible, I'm wearing this, I wore this at school, like whatever, it's fine. But we also need to realize that there's a very serious aspect of being trans and that people don't really realize outside. I know that I'm white, I know that I come from privilege, middle class background, all that stuff. I'm in university, all that. I'm still fearing for my life. Not every time I go outside, but every time there's a new person that finds out that I'm trans that I don't know and I'm not really comfortable with, I'm scared. Or I'm also scared because I look really queer, that people are going to attack me based on that and then find out that I'm trans, and then it's gonna be like, if you were just gonna beat me up, now you're gonna kill me. So I fear for that a lot. Even in Montreal, where even around Concordia, which is like, I live right beside my school and it's super like queer friendly and it's fine, but I'm scared. And I can only imagine other people and I mean, how can you not be scared when all you've been hearing about is people dying, and these people who are dying are all trans? And I know that more trans women of color are dying, and I'm not saying that I'm comparing my fear to any of that at all. I'm just saying that it's scary, and people are dying because society doesn't give a fuck. And sure, if you're watching this video, you probably care because you're probably like a follower of mine, or somebody sent you this video that like, oh, you should watch Chase, I know him, or like something like that. But we need to expand this to a broader audience. Like YouTube, but like get away from trans YouTube and go somewhere else. Go into like the funny YouTube, but then in a way, not that really the funny YouTube, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say like we need to get away from trans YouTube when we have to talk about these topics, because I feel like people are like, oh, another trans person is dead, like, okay, that sucks, 2 people, when really it's like 25 people are dead, and it's more serious than that. So all this to say, sorry I keep looking that way because I have my bookshelf here of all my books that I use for my research. And if you don't know, I do research on like trans identity and masculinity and stuff like that. And there's one book that I'm looking at right now. It's Vivienne Namaste and her book Invisible Lives. And it's just funny that it's not funny, but it's like visibility, invisible lives, people are dying. It's just, yeah. So yeah, let's do something about this, because it's actually getting ridiculous. Like, come on. Like, it's too much. Too many people are killing themselves who are trans because they think that there's no way out, because other trans people who were their age also killed themselves because they could not deal with it because their parents weren't accepting. It makes it seem like we don't have, as trans people, a chance at a future. And the thing that we need to bring out to the younger trans people who want to kill themselves is that there is a life after. And I remember when Lila Alcorn killed herself, that there was a Twitter hashtag. It was like my real trans, hashtag trans adult, real trans adult. It just, you would write how old you are and what you're doing, and it doesn't matter. Like right now, I am in grad school and I am 24. 9 years ago when I realized I was trans, I literally wouldn't have thought that I was alive. Like, I wouldn't be alive because I thought that being trans was so bad and that nobody would accept me. And then all I saw was that people were dying, and then I saw Boys Don't Cry, and then I was like, oh god. That's what I'm trying to say. Hopefully this video kind of came across as what I'm trying to say. It's a bit of a tricky topic because it's like it's cool, you know, like yay, Trans Day of Visibility, but it's also really serious because a lot of us are dying because we're visible, or because people know that we're trying to be invisible, I guess that makes sense. I'll let they find out. Anyways, that's it. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you later.